This is it. This is crunch time with only 3 races remaining in the one-up Nitro National Series season for 2022. There is no more room for error, no give, all take. And what better place to start the final 3 races of the season than at the beautiful Texas World Speedway in College Station, Texas, for 45 laps around this high-banked 2-mile oval, where passing is sure to please the crowd, and we might even get an upset winner. You never know with this style of racing. Alongside me in the booth, we'd like to welcome back Duke and Zach to the broadcast booth for this race at Texas World Speedway. And what a time of the season to come back to. You got a lot of drivers with a shot at the title, but there's not much room for error. Like I said, you got to make your moves now.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And what better place to make your moves than a Texas World? This is an excellent track for passing, for racing. High speed, high intensity action is what we're going to expect all day today. I'm pumped up for this race, and I know the drivers are too. I think it's going to be a fantastic show that they're going to put on today, and I think it's a big chance for a lot of these guys that are kind of right on the edge of being contenders in this thing to really punch their ticket and really have a shot at it going into the final couple races.
So now we look at the starting lineup for today's 45-lap race, and on the front row are 2 drivers looking for their first career wins in the one-up Nitro National Series. Nicky Martinez on pole position, AJ Jones alongside, but then, look further back, you got 4 playoff drivers starting behind them. Dylan Young lines up 3rd. He won this race last year. Patrick Smith lines up 6th. He is the points leader. He's got a 12-point lead going into this race, and he is going to do whatever he can to maintain that margin or extend it, because with Rockingham and Homestead coming up after this, you don't want to leave anything to chance.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And there's a lot of people today that are going to be in high desperation mode. They need to make something happen. Points today to get up there. They're all going to be racing for the win because that's pretty much the only way they can get themselves clawed back into this championship fight. So those guys up top need to protect today. Solid top 5, maybe a top 10 will do you well. But you can't wreck out of this race. You can't have a bad day. And we've already got Joshua Michaels starting all the way back in 19th. That's a tough starting spot. So that 18 car has got to come up through the field. It's going to be so interesting. We got a lot of storylines to follow, especially because of the playoffs. And but I think this is going to be a fantastic race.
So with that being said, we have 42 cars on the grid at Texas World Speedway, and we are ready to bring you 45 laps of action from College Station, Texas. This is the one-up Nitro National Series from the Texas World Speedway, and the green flag, as usual, mere moments away, so stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss a second of what's to come over the next 45 laps. For 90 miles, these cars will do battle today, leaving us in the hands of Nicky Martinez and AJ Jones on the front row, green flag in the air, and we're underway for 45 at Texas World Speedway. Martinez jumps out to an early lead, but I expect a lot of drivers to start fanning out. There you go. 3 wide already before you've even hit the first turn. Martinez surges out ahead, but Dylan Young's already taking a peek to her inside.
Yeah, Dylan Young on a mission today. Visual right there of all the cars charging down this back stretch of Texas World Speedway here. And the 92 on the bottom is going to pull away with the lead for lap 1.
Off of turn 4, Dylan Young will pick up right where he left off last year, leading the first lap here at Texas World Speedway. But you can see in the back, there's 4 wide for about the 10th position, maybe just outside the top 10. As now, Young leads Martinez, then side-by-side for 3rd between Zachary DeLello and AJ Jones, with Autumn Koger trying to get around Patrick Smith, and she does so. That sends the points leader back to 6th, but as long as he can hang out there, he should be able to keep his lead before we get to Rockingham.
Yeah, they're a little bit single file right now, but don't fear. This is a big drafting track, 2-mile oval, high-banked corners here, so you've got a little bit of that draft down the straightaways, and we've got to move for second place. It's the 03 on the bottom, but it completely stalls out both those cars. They're 3 wide going into turn 1. 86 had to check up. They all had to check up on the bottom, and Nicky Martinez is going to hold second place right there after a big couple of moves down the front straightaway. But we're going to see that all day today. People jumping out on the straightaways, trying to make something happen on the bottom. We see Caggiano doing it here too. So that's just
you're absolutely right. You're going to see that pretty much every time they dive off in the turn 1 and to an extent turn 3 as well, but mostly into that first corner. As you see Patrick Smith now give up another spot to Ryan Caggiano. He's now running 7th. Can't afford to lose too many more spots and hope for a solid points lead, but all he can do is just hang in there and hope for the best. As they come off turn 2 to start to midway through lap number 4, Young, Martinez, DeLello running 1, 2, 3 at the moment. Both Martinez and DeLello looking for their first career wins in the 1-Up Nitro National Series, but Dylan Young trying to deny him.
Move down into turn 1. I really thought we were going to see a 25 jump low, but nothing into turn 1. Maybe on the back straightaway, we'll see. But yeah, no breathing space for that 92 of Dylan Young so far. They're all right on the bumper right there. So this is going to be pretty much how it is. That clean air. You're not able to really pull away. It is obviously an advantage to be out front. You have more downforce, more clean air, but the draft is pretty powerful down the straightaways, and even a little bit through turns 3 and 4, you're sniffing some draft and helping your speed a little bit there. But while they're side by side for second, they're not making up any.
Yeah, DeLello had the back out just a little bit, but he might be able to make it up coming out of the corner on Nicky Martinez. They're still side by side. As you see, Ryan Caggiano has the fastest lap so far of a 35.65. You get a point for that, as is always the case in the 1-Up Nitro National Series. And Ryan Caggiano needs as many points as he can to get back into the championship battle before he calls it quits at season's end. And you can see Caggiano making a move on A.J. Jones. That's for a spot in the top 5. Caggiano has it now, and DeLello trying to go for second once again on Martinez.
Yeah, Dylan Young and Zach DeLello right now are two guys in this race that really need to get a win here. So that's why these two are fighting so hard. Obviously, Dylan Young in the lead of this race, and you got to stay up there, make it through the pit stop, and give yourself a shot to win this thing. They're both doing a great job.
And boy, wouldn't Dylan Young love to get one last win in this series before he goes superstar racing next year. That would just be the icing on the cake to complete his Nitro National Series tenure. But he's still got quite a ways to go in this one. We're only on lap 8. Got a lot of racing still to come, but as things stand right now, Young's looking pretty good. He's got a pretty decent lead over Martinez and DeLello as Caggiano makes his way up into the top 5. This could be a car worth keeping an eye on. He only has the one win this season at Trois Rivières, but he's been the model of consistency this season, the most top 10s of anybody, and he's looking to add another one here at Texas World.
Yeah, this 81 has been fast. I've been watching, he kind of climbing through the field. He started 10th, obviously up to 5th now in that 81 car, and he's just been picking them off one by one, little by little, making it up to the front. But staying part of the question here, part of the conversation. I think that Ryan Caggiano is going to be a factor in this race before it's over.
Looking further back, you see Patrick Smith about a second off the lead, trying to fend off the 2 Team Duke cars behind him with Alex Vergette and Elijah Ironhouse. They're working together in the draft to try and catch up to the points leader, and you got Glenn Mixon and Kyle Corbett battling for 10th right behind them. So this is going to be an interesting battle for Patrick Smith. He needs to balance risk versus reward. He wants to keep his points lead intact, and he wants to finish as high as possible to do that, but he also cannot afford a catastrophe, a mishap, a DNF, anything of that nature, because he can really kiss his championship hopes goodbye if that would have happened. Oh, we got 3 wide.
Wow, that was a crazy situation. I'm not sure if somebody checked up right there or not, but Dylan Young is gone right now, and Nicky Martinez is losing spots here. Zach DeLello's coming up and then on the bottom behind that is Autumn Koger as well. So there was a big checkup, and everybody spread out while we were talking about that 04. That is that 04 car, 6th as a matter of fact. So these guys are fighting for it here at Texas World Speedway on lap 12.
And what Patrick Smith might be able to do, I think, in addition to the normal adjustments he can make on pit road to try and help that car, get on the pit road before anybody else. Take advantage of the fresh tires early enough. The pit window opens as soon as we cross the halfway mark, but you really want to stretch it a little further, maybe to about lap 26 to 28. Get in the pit road as soon as possible. Get your adjustments, your 4 fresh ones, and your full tank of fuel, and be on your merry way. As we got a 3-wide battle once again, this time for second, between the 2 Kings Motorsports teammates and Autumn Koger in the 19.
Yeah, that inside lane in turns 1 and 2 is a little bit different. It really shallows up in the corner. You can't hold your speed as much, and when you got somebody right outside of you, you really have to let off the throttle so that you don't slide up into them. Whereas in 3 and 4, the track opens up coming out of turn 4 because of this D-shaped front straightaway that we have. So really it's not as tight of a corner. You see these guys kind of flying out a little bit closer to the wall here, as you can see that. It's just a wider exit to the corner, but it's a wide entry into turn one and then a tight exit. So that's really why the bottom lane will sit with lane. Big move right there from Zachary DeLello. But yeah, this it's just, you're going to see that all day. It's just physics how it's happening here at Texas World. So the bottom lane, good on 3 and 4, but not so great in turns 1 and 2.
We got a 3-car battle for second on our hands. Martinez, DeLello, Caggiano, 3 powerful Toyotas chasing the Mustang of Dylan Young as we complete lap number 14. Young's led them all so far. We're about halfway through a fuel run right now, so the pace is expected to fall off a little bit. Not as significant as a place at, say, Rockingham next week or Hillside earlier in the season, but you will see the lap times fall off by about a second, maybe a second and a half by the end of the run, as DeLello now makes a move to the inside of Martinez, but Martinez shuts the door on him.
Yeah, shut the door right there is the right phrasing of that. 25. Wow, and then the 03 had to really check up for a second and is maybe going to pay the price for it going into turn 1. I don't think so. But yeah, Nicky Martinez doing a great job, even after that big stack up they had, just holding on to that second place, and there was almost contact with the 81 going a little bit too hard in that corner. And now Alex Frigette-Barou back there is watching on the outside lane, watching everything happen and trying to move up through the field up to 5th place after, where did he start? In 8th. So, yeah, that's a good run for that 3-car right there. Also needing a solid run, 34 points back from Patrick Smith. So on a day that Smith isn't really running in the top 5, of course, running in 6th right now.
And looking at that fastest lap, you saw Kyle Corbett snatch it off of Ryan Caggiano with a 35.53. That's about as fast. I believe, faster than the pole lap we had here. So wow. Kyle Corbett setting a blistering pace in 10th position as DeLello, I should say, with Caggiano's help, gets underneath Martinez, trying to get around for 2nd. Doesn't look like it's going to work. And now the 2 teammates form up once again, see if Alex can maybe help the 03 get by. As we enter lap number 18, Alex dives to the inside. That's probably not going to work, and the running position should stay in the status quo for now.
Yeah, that's behind her. But if that 03 car could ever get past, maybe would have a shot at the leader. But the 92 in clean air has been unstoppable so far. The fight has been for 2nd place. Everybody sitting behind Dylan Young in that Universal Mustang. So, hey, I'll tell you what, that thing is looking mean out there today. Doesn't have the biggest lead, only about a 10th over a 3-wide battle for 2nd, but hasn't been challenged quite yet like these other folks have behind. So that'll be something to watch for the rest of this race, to see if that 92 does get past. Will Dylan Young be able to stay up with everybody else and kind of stay part of the question, part of the conversation, if they get into dirty air and not out of that clean air. So we'll see if that happens towards the latter part of this race.
And wouldn't it be something for Ryan Caggiano to make a challenge, as we look back at him momentarily, in his final season in the 1UP Nitro National Series before he retires. He's the defending series champion. He's got a win already this season. We'd love a 2nd one, move him up to 4 all time. He was the first driver to get a win in both the Superstar and Nitro National Series. You can't go wrong with stats like that. Wouldn't it be something to get another win before it's all said and done? But he's got a lot of work to do to make it happen. He's got his teammate who's pretty quick to get by, and he's working on it right now. But he also has that 92 who's been unstoppable so far.
Yeah, bigger picture winning today, but this championship battle, what it would mean for his point situation, especially on a day with the front couple guys not doing quite so well, that would put him right back into the equation. And I think that's something else weighing on the mind of Ryan Caggiano and all these guys with the blue spoilers today. It's obvious, you know, they're not seeing those cars while they're racing up front. Everybody in their ear is telling them that they've got to make something happen today. So this is a big moment for all these playoff guys, and we'll see who's.
You saw Caggiano on the back off. That's just part of, and you expect that to get worse as the run continues, because the tires start to fall off. You have a lot less grip, and that is just going to continue to worsen until you put fresh tires on at the pit stops, which are about 5 to 10 laps away from happening, because we're closing in on the halfway lap next time around.
There's a move.
So, yep, here comes Martinez. Dylan Young, he's got to hold on for at least a lap more to lock up the most laps led bonus, but Martinez is doing her best to prevent that from happening.
Yeah, now they're 3 wide for the lead this time. And that was actually really good for Dylan Young in the 92. The fact that the 81 jumped down there out of the throttle, and the 92 was able to stay in it, used all the track all the way out to the wall, and kept the lead. And now DeLello is back in the picture. So they're fighting behind that 92 car. A little bit lucky right there, but we've seen now that the 92 does have a little bit of weakness and can be passed. So we'll see if anybody's able to take advantage of that.
You saw DeLello move up to third momentarily, but he's going to lose out to Caggiano and Alex Vergepperub in the 3. So to move DeLello back to the 5th spot, he might try and fight Alex for 4th once again. It's going to be a lot of give and take in the early stages, but as we said at the top of the show, at this point in the season, when it gets right down to it, there's no more give left.
No, yeah, you're right, and especially after the pit stop, everybody's going to know that this is it for the race. So once, of course, that happens, and we'll be seeing that soon here. And now the 25 back on the bottom. So let's see if the 81's going to jump down.
For Vergepperub as well, making a move for 3rd. That probably is not going to stick. But Caggiano, this is the highest he's been all day. And wouldn't it be? And like I said, wouldn't it be something for him to get one last win before it's all said and done? But he's still got about 20 laps to go to make it happen. And at this point in time, we're looking back through the field to look for Patrick Smith, the points leader. There he is. He's currently running in the 14th position. That is not where I'm sure he would like to be. That's about where he finished at Atlanta last week as well. But Patrick Smith, what I think he wants to do is get to pit road first among his main rivals and get the advantage of fresh tires early. That's about the only thing he can do at this point.
Right, and somebody else we don't see is Joshua Michaels, also having a bit of a struggle today. And Alexa Lucian is fighting for 10th with Elijah Ironhouse right now. So all 3 of those drivers that are really in the mix right now, not having the greatest of days. Meanwhile, we've got a pass for the lead. It's Ryan Caggiano taking the lead over Dylan Young, the first new leader of the day today. And, of course,
and Glenn Mixon's coming with her. So we've got a few cars on pit road already to start the cycle. It looks as though a few more were making their way down as well. There's Joshua Michaels. He's running outside the top 20 at the moment. But as things run right now, Ryan Caggiano, he's got the lead now. Dylan Young, I think he has to respond at this point. He's got to jump into the pits this lap. DeLello might probably go with him. I don't know if Caggiano might try an overcut to try and get ahead of these guys in the long run. Yep, here comes Dylan Young. Yeah, Young's coming in. Looks like Caggiano's staying out. Elijah Ironhouse is staying out. But it looks like the majority of the field, Ryan Arnold stays out, but the rest of the field, for the most part, they're all coming in this time.
I'm not sure about this strategy because I'm sure that he's going to come in and pit this time. The only advantage you might have is taking a little bit less fuel on the stop, but I'm not sure if it's really going to gain you that much time. These guys will have gained 2.5 seconds on you by the time you pit here. If you're Ryan Caggiano, so we'll see. Drivers on the bottom, couldn't tell who they were. There's the 3 who we know was running in about 4th, and there's the others.
That's DeLello. She's about to pass. And Dylan Young, this is going to be real close because Martinez is already up to full speed. Dylan Young's still getting up to speed. I think Martinez, despite Young being ahead right now, I think Martinez has the tires warmed up enough where she's actually going to be the leader by the time they get back to the start-finish line. Here she comes. Off of turn 4, they're going to be side-by-side at the line. Martinez, your new leader at Texas.
Wow, but it's still a battle going into turn 1. Oh, no, it's not, because Martinez is going to take the lead and keep it here. And look at them. They're going by Elijah Ironhouse right there. And here's Caggiano, and they're going to just get, oh, man, they're going to blow by him right here, the 25 and the 92, the 34 as well, and everybody else behind. Oh, man, I'm not sure about that strategy from the 81. We'll see how it works out towards the end of this race, though, for that man.
And you saw Justin Hutchinson in that 11 car as well. He's had a bit of a slow stop. He's now 1 lap down in last place. He's going to try and regain that lost lap, see if he can't make his way back to the front through some way or another. But with 15 laps to go, Nicky Martinez holds the lead And the question now is, will she be able to hold it for the rest of the race? Because that 92 is on a mission at this point.
Yeah, the 92 was unstoppable in the whole first half of this race till the very end. So that's maybe something that they have improved upon on that pit stop. Maybe an adjustment, tire pressure adjustment possibly could have helped that 92. We'll see what this 11 can do on a couple lap fresher tires than these two. We'll just see how that goes. We'll use that as a judge for if the 81 gets up there. See what happens on the bottom lane right there. Not going to have much of anything to do down there. Yeah, but this is going to be an X factor in this, the 11 car.
The problem with that is, though, if you go up there, if you let him go and lose your momentum, you run the risk of letting the 81, the 34, let them catch you. As we look back now for the rest of the field, you can see Tyler Ferris, Ryan Arnold up there, and Jonas, because oh my goodness, I'm having a hard time with this one. It's understandable. He's our first driver from Lithuania in the 1UP Nitro National Series. He's having a very strong run, and he's currently just running barely outside the top 10 right now. So a very strong run from the Lithuanian driver in his series debut. But I promise he'll be full-time in the series next year, so one of these days we'll get his name right. But as we make our way through 3 and 4, to complete lap number 33, Justin Hutchinson is going to try and pass Dylan Young. This isn't for position, remember, but Ryan Caggiano right behind him, and Glenn Mixon making it 3 wide. That's all for position.
Unlapped himself now ahead of everybody, but that is going to be an X factor because of that dirty air on the leaders. We'll see how this all plays out, but at least not in the middle of this battle for the lead anymore.
So now Martinez, with coming to 10 laps to go, has Dylan Young all over the back, trying to find a way to get past. Martinez has done so much in her career. She's still looking for that first career win, but in this series, remember, she got a win in the Superstar Series all the way back at the Charlotte Roval in 2020, but now Martinez looking for her first national win, but here comes Dylan Young to the bottom.
Full sequence of the move, the Dylan Young's not able to complete it right there, but you want to get to the bottom down the front straightaway. Hold on tight on the bottom through turns 1 and 2. Try to stay to the inside, get a little bit of side draft down the back straightaway, and then dive into turn 3 as hard as you can and try to clear them there, because that's kind of the whole lap around this place trying to make a move, and we'll see who will execute that on the 25 car later into this race. I'm not sure who's going to be able to do it. It could be one of these 3 or 4 that we're watching right here. Somebody else, maybe. I'm not sure. And, of course, we could have a caution still in this race. Even though we haven't had one so far, it doesn't look like we will. But you never know. And here's Dylan Young, again, now going down the front straightaway on the inside of that 25.
And a couple things we need to note. The pit stop cycle went by with relatively few incidents, but the few that we did have impacted some big players in the playoff battle. Namely, car number 7, Aaron Hall, and car number 01, Cody Goforth, both of whom had wretched slow pit stops and are now both outside the top 30. So unless something major happens to build their momentum up, they may be out of the championship after this race. But looking back at the battle for the lead right now, Dylan Young doing everything he can to get around Nikki Martinez, who's desperately trying to hold on for dear life to get her first career win. It's about 7 laps away from happening. Well, there's still plenty of racing to go between now and then.
Not a good situation for them, but the leaders, definitely a good situation for these guys up here. Now, Nikki Martinez is in a situation where this is just a trophy right here, no championship implications, but these behind, all those blue spoilers in
to
this
go
group.
From Texas Whirl, and now it's a 2-horse race at the front. Maybe if Ryan Caggiano gets up there, it could be a 3-car battle. But Martinez and Young, the 2 drivers who have been at the front for much of this race, albeit in the reverse order, now find themselves battling for the win. And here comes Young to the top of the racetrack. Martinez sends it off into turn 3 and 4 with a big head of steam, but she might lose a bit of momentum off the corner, and that could allow Young and Caggiano a chance to strike, and it looks like they're both making a move. 5 laps to go.
Matter, the 92 side by side for the lead, coming across the line.
And we only have 4 laps of racing to go. 8 more miles to settle this. Dylan Young has to back out of it. That allows Martinez a little breathing space. But now Caggiano jumps up to the top. Could he play spoiler in all this? But The three leaders who have been up front for the entirety of this race are now going to battle it out for the win. Remember, Caggiano has fresher tires than either of these two, but he doesn't have the track position or the clean air that the other two have. We're coming to 3 laps to go. This could be the move right here.
Yeah, this is yet another opportunity. One of these times, this 92 is going to make it work. It seems like every single lap, he's coming across the line side by side for the lead, and maybe, just maybe, one of these times he'll be able to stay to the bottom lane coming down the back straightaway. Is this the time? It looks like it is. Now it's ahead just by a nose, so you got to stay there down the whole back straightaway and send it off into turn 3. Let's see what happens. 92 down into turn 3, and they're still side by side. Who's going to keep the lead and get it? Looks like Dylan Young is going to have it just barely, but not enough to clear. Wow. What a move. Still fighting on the outside is the 25, my goodness.
And we only have 2 more laps of racing. Dylan Young has to make this move stick. He's got to clear the 25, and now he is clear of the 25. Coming to the white flag this time, Dylan Young looking for his first win of the season, if you can believe it. He won 3 races last year en route to a strong points finish. He's yet to get a win this season, but coming to the white flag this time, this could be his day.
Leading the white flag lap here at Texas World Speedway. An amazing performance from Dylan Young to lead most of the beginning of this race, and now leading at the white flag after an amazing many attempts at the move, going under the back straightaway with plenty of breathing room to the side-by-side battle for second.
So now, as Martinez looks like she's going to settle for second once again, but coming through 3 and 4 for the final time, Dylan Young wanted a proper send-off to his 1-Up Nitro National Series tenure, and now it looks like he's going to get his 4th career win, his first of 2022. Dylan Young has done it again at Texas World Speedway. He wins for the 2nd year in a row here by 0.3 seconds over Nicky Martinez, who once again comes up just a little bit short. But you have a feeling her day is going to come in one of these days. If not this year, then certainly next year. That's going to be a real strong combination going forward. Ryan Caggiano comes home 3rd in his last race at Texas World Speedway. Zachary DeLello 4th, just ahead of Glenn Mixon, rounding out the top 5. A strong run for that 34 team. Alex Vergette-Barube comes home 6th ahead of Alexa Luchon, made a charge late to finish 7th ahead of Ironhouse in 8th. Tyler Ferris, after not having a top 10 in his career before Atlanta, now has 2 in a row. And Ryan Arnold rounds out the top 10 just ahead of Patrick Smith, who, with an 11th place finish today, will have an 11-point lead going into Rockingham.
Wow, so just an amazing race here that we had today. A great battle up front all day. Between all these drivers. I mean, Caggiano was in it, Martinez was in it, and of course Dylan Young was out front for a lot of it, and then lost it after the pit stop. Was a little bit nerve-wracking there, but got it back just in the nick of time and took the win away to put on a race here, and especially with so much on the line. A great job by them. I'm so excited to see what the point standings look like going into the next race, because I'm sure that it's been flipped all upside down with only a few left. So that was just absolutely fantastic.
So from Duke and second, from myself as well, we say goodbye from the Texas World Speedway. We've only got 2 more races. We'll see you next time out at Rockingham for race number 24. And we've lost 1 contender. We still got 11 in the mix for the championship. Dylan Young with the victory. Patrick Smith still holding a very narrow points lead as we head out to North Carolina for the next race.